Hello, everyone, and welcome to Building Character and Ethics in Today's Schools. I'm Jenny Lark, and I am thrilled to serve as our instructor over the next 8 weeks as we explore many different components of character education in schools. In this brief video, I'm going to share with you a little bit about myself, provide you with some Christ-centered encouragement as you begin this meaningful professional endeavor, and share with you just a practical, brief overview of our Canvas learning space. So, sharing a little bit about myself with you through some pictures, I identify as a lifelong learner and educator, and professionally, I am passionate about all things teaching and learning and school leadership, especially school leadership as it relates to supporting teachers in their vocation. I am truly excited to get to know each of you and for us to get to collectively know each other over the next 8 weeks as we develop into a community of learners in this space. Now, I am a product of both public and private sectors in education. I attended public elementary schools before moving over to Orange Lutheran High School, where I also recently served as principal of academics after a 15-year tenure in the classroom, followed by various instructional leadership roles. I am currently very blessed to serve as vice principal of academics at Crane Lutheran High School in Irvine. In terms of higher education, I earned my undergraduate degree in psychology from UCLA, followed by my master's degree in educational psychology from Cal State Long Beach, and most recently followed that up by earning my doctorate in educational leadership through UCLA's Educational Leadership Program. And fun little fact about my life. Little did I know that when I began my doctoral program in the fall of 2019, that in addition to taking on a brand new role in school administration, COVID was coming to upend education as we know it and wreak havoc on our already strained and imperfect system. And those 3 years were truly the most challenging of my life thus far, juggling the weight of a rigorous doctoral program, working to meet the needs of exhausted and overwhelmed teachers while also trying to maintain some sort of semblance of organization on the home front. Here you can see kind of the COVID impact that we were working through at Orange Lutheran High School. This is when we were in fully remote lockdown learning and we were coming around the hallways offering treats and love to our wonderful teachers. Here I am trying to work from home and help my kindergartner learn how to read. I had a third grader as well at the time. And then just trying to maintain family connections and some sort of semblance of life balance in the midst of all these things. And I have to say that those 3 years of my life in particular, I really felt overwhelmed by the sheer volume of responsibility that I felt was on my shoulders on a regular basis. I was stretched really thin, and at times it felt nearly impossible to do everything that I wanted to do well for all of the people that I'm called to serve, especially on my own. And something that God continued to reveal to me in so many different ways over those difficult years is that I don't have to do all of those things on my own. Our Christian message for this first week together, Romans 5, verse 8, reminds us that God shows his love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. And what an incredible blessing we have in our gracious God who sent his perfect Son to atone for our imperfections via death on the cross. What an incredible blessing it is that he so faithfully provides us via his Holy Spirit working in us with all of those fruits of the Spirit, those character competencies, if you will. Love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. He gives us all those things that we need to effectively share his love with others by modeling strong character and servant leadership to those that we are blessed to serve, including each other in this class. As I reflect back on my own recent experience as a graduate student, a continued source of joy for me across those years that continues today is the meaningful relationships that God blessed me with through my amazing cohort members. And so, as I think about what's to come for you, I am filled with excitement and anticipation on your behalf as you not only foster important knowledge and skills that will further strengthen your educational leadership, but also as you develop lifelong professional friendships and relationships with an amazing group of fellow educators. And so my prayer for you today as you continue on through this class and throughout your program is that you just thoroughly enjoy this unique opportunity to learn from and grow with each other. And that when the going gets tough, you remember that God has already won the ultimate victory for you, for us, that He's walking alongside us through it all, and that He is daily equipping us with everything that we need to serve each other well and maintain all of these incredible vocations that He's blessed us with in our lives, and that He gives us each other for support. So all that being said, let's dive into a brief Canvas overview to get you started on your way. When you first log into the course, you can head up to the course information section and you'll click on Start Here. In the Start Here section, you'll see our welcome to building character and ethics in today's schools. And as you'll scroll down, you'll see a little bit more information about myself and my background, particularly as it relates to social emotional learning and character education in schools. You'll also see a link to the video that you are currently viewing in case you want to revisit that at any point in time in the future. And just want to make an announcement up front at the beginning of class related to Google Docs and Microsoft Office. And this will serve you well throughout the remainder of our 8 weeks together. When we think about Google Drive, so all courses in the Masters in Educational Leadership program utilize Google Docs for assignments and support materials. And these documents that are linked in the classroom are all master templates that are not able to be edited. So when you are ready to open a document, you'll always be making a copy of that document. And in order to do so, in case you don't regularly work in Google Docs, you're going to go to File. This is up at the top left-hand corner of your computer screen. Click on Make a Copy, title the document, and then really important that you set the share settings as anyone with the link can view. And do not use the option of anyone at Concordia University. This is just to ensure that everyone is able to view those shared documents. You'll often use Google Documents when you're collaborating with others, and it makes it a lot easier if you just switch that share setting to anyone with the link can view. So that's a note about Google Documents. Note about Microsoft Office. You do need Microsoft Office products in order to submit assignments in this particular course, particularly in Word and PowerPoint formats. And just a word about that. So some of your courses, this course definitely does request group collaboration via Google Docs or via Google Slides. And so when you are using those Google products, please go ahead before you actually submit the final product, save it as either a Word or a PowerPoint extension, not as the Google version itself. It's important that when we submit our assignments, we're submitting hard copies that can't be adjusted for that particular grading process. So hopefully those announcements related to Google Docs and Microsoft Office will serve you well moving forward. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me with any questions or concerns in that regard. Let's take a look at our discussion board rubric and talk about a few things related to the discussion posts that you'll be making throughout your time in class. We're going to start out here. Actually, I already have one pulled up that's a lot easier for you to view, hopefully. Let's take a look at our discussion board criteria and grading rubric. So discussions are a substantial part of our course activities, particularly because this is an asynchronous class. And so the interaction between you and your classmates has really been designed to be a key component of our learning process. It's meant to simulate the face-to-face conversations that we'd be having were we sitting together in a classroom. And so please don't view your discussion board posts as writing assignments. They're truly designed to take the place of those classroom discussions that we would be having. And so accordingly, just want to review some proper etiquette reminders to guide our written conversations in the digital space. And really all of these operate under the common theme of let's speak the truth in love in a professional manner with one another. All right. And so here it says, Concordia University encourages frank and insightful dialogue in all of its online courses. Diversity has many manifestations, including diversity of thought, opinion, and values. We encourage all learners to be respectful of that diversity and to refrain from any inappropriate commentary. Comments on the discussion board should be guided by common sense and basic etiquette. The following guidelines are wonderful to follow. Please don't post anything when you're angry or upset. You can wait a little bit and submit that post once you've calmed down. Please never post, transmit, promote, or distribute content that is known to be illegal. Please also avoid overtly harassing or embarrassing fellow learners. If you do disagree with someone's point of view, please respond to the subject of that discussion and not the person. And when in doubt, sarcasm is not always appropriately conveyed through the online format. Also want to refrain from transmitting or distributing content that is harmful, abusive, racially or ethnically offensive, vulgar, or otherwise inappropriate. And please do remember that there are no anonymous postings. So your user profile is linked to the post that you create in our classroom. A couple notes about participation in particular. So, students are expected to complete assigned readings early in the week and participate in discussions. Each week, you'll find several different postings as part of the learning process. You will make an initial posting and at least two responses to your peers' posts for each question of every week, unless stated otherwise. You are more than welcome, everyone, to make multiple responses to the same question after your initial response. The length of your initial posting and your responses should really seldom exceed one screen. It's okay for them to be far shorter than that, as long as they're substantive and answer the question at hand. So in general, you're probably not going to exceed 3 to 5 posts per discussion question, but you are welcome to make more than one official post. Please do post your initial responses before reading the postings of other people, and please try to respond to peers who you can tell do not already have a peer response next to their response. All right, so we will be working in a pretty systematic way when it comes to the due dates related to your discussion board submissions. Your initial post is always going to be due no later than Thursday evenings at 11:59 p.m. I highly encourage you to post as early in the week as possible, because that gives your classmates a lot of time throughout the week to go ahead and go into the classroom, engage in discussion via that format, and make thoughtful responses to your posts as well. In addition to that post by Thursday night, we're also going to be responding to at least two peers, and those two responses are due on Sunday nights by 11:59 p.m. The only exception to that particular formula, if you will, is week 8. So in particular, week 8 ends on a Friday, and the due dates do not follow this structure for the last week of instruction. I will be very clear with you in terms of communicating the specific deadlines for week 8. They're a little bit different. All right. And then I do just want to take a moment to go over the discussion criteria that I'll be using when I grade your responses. And I highly recommend that before you post any discussions in the discussion board itself, that you take a look at the discussion board grading rubric even once a week before you submit that response. This is going to set you up to contribute a successful response. So as you can see, looking down the left-hand column of the grading rubric here, when we look at discussion board criteria, you can see that your initial response, you're going to receive 4 points for providing content that was well thought out, insightful, detailed, and on topic. You're going to receive an additional 2 points when your response includes a minimum of 1 scholarly reference. We want to make sure that this is complete with properly formatted in-text citations, so citations within the response itself, as well as a matching reference at the end of the citation. So a full source APA style reference is included at the bottom of that post, okay? Additionally, your initial post, we want to make sure exhibits appropriate grammar, punctuation, syntax, and word usage, and that you've taken the time to proofread your response. I know that it can feel a little bit tedious to do an in-text citation as well as a full-on reference at the end of each weekly discussion post. I promise you that that is wonderful practice for you as you continue to utilize APA format as you move throughout your program. All right, and then when we look at our peer responses, you're going to receive an additional 2 points per peer response each week. So 4 more points in the grand scheme of things each week related to your peer responses. We want to make sure those are insightful, detailed, and add depth to the discussion. And we want to make sure that those exhibit appropriate grammar, punctuation, syntax, and word usage. And again, that you're taking the time to proofread those responses. So hopefully it's helpful for you to see the grading criteria. Again, just want to encourage you to check those out once a week just to set yourself up for success before you engage in posting your responses. So now that we've taken a look at our discussion board criteria, let's spend a little bit of time exploring the syllabus for this particular class. Under the syllabus and textbook sections, you can click here to access the course syllabus, and that is going to open up a lovely document that truly contains every bit of information that you need to be successful in this particular course. So the syllabus begins with important big picture information like mission, purpose, learning objectives, followed by a chronological course schedule that's organized for you by week and further broken down into helpfully color-coded topics. So let's scroll down here and look at week 1. And every week is organized the same way and color-coded accordingly for you. You can see that the topics for the week are listed at the top of the syllabus, as well as the corresponding learning outcomes for the class. Our Christian message is always indicated in gold. We have our readings and videos for the week always indicated in gray. Our discussion board posts indicated in green. And if you do have a weekly assignment that's due that particular week, you'll see that indicated at the bottom in blue. And everything you need to be successful with that assignment is live linked into the syllabus here for you. It's also organized within the Canvas Learning Management System itself. So feel free to peruse that syllabus. Everything's very clearly articulated for you there. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns in that regard. Below the syllabus, you'll see required and recommended books for the course. You'll see that Primed is our required text for the course. So 6 design principles for school improvement. And below that, you'll see the APA Manual 7th edition is recommended. I love having a hard copy of the APA 7th edition just to flip through, but I'm kind of an old school learner. So if you don't feel like that's necessary, I strongly encourage you to check out the Purdue OWL website, and that allows you to search online exactly what you're looking for, and it provides really helpful, accurate information, particularly if you need a refresher about how to do in-text citations and full references for different types of resources that you want to cite in your discussion posts or in your assignments for the course. So highly recommend you check out Purdue OWL if you don't purchase the APA 7th edition. Before we move forward, I want to take a moment just to let you know that we do have so many different student support services available to you, linked here within the Canvas space. So here you'll see links to the Canvas Student Guide, Chapel at Concordia, Disability Access Services, library resources, technology services, our wellness center, the writing studio. So many things that you're welcome to take advantage of here. We also have a link to the Master of Arts in Educational Leadership Capstone Handbook in particular. Highly recommend that you take a look at this throughout your experience in this program. It's going to provide some really nice coherence for you in terms of making your learning clear and connecting it together across courses. And finally, just wanted to draw your, oh my goodness, she's
I'm a professor of
talking
education
to
and
us.
program.
There we go, my friends. Wanted to draw your attention to these APA resources. So you can see a number of incredibly helpful resources linked here. The required structure for a School of Education official paper, the required template for that paper if you literally just want to take one and copy it and make it your own so that you don't have to go through all of that basic formatting. There's also some other helpful links up top here, including a formatting checklist when you're submitting a paper in APA 7th edition. If you're more of a video type of person, I highly recommend that you check out these really helpful resources linked by Program Director Lori Doyle. So enjoy looking through all of those wonderful resources that will help you specifically when it comes to abiding by APA format, which will be really important for your success in the course. We also have a number of library and research resources. You can see some orientation information listed there and some additional resources linked there for you as well.
If you've
Oh,
ever taken
oh
a
my
philosophical
goodness.
ethics class,
These videos are so exciting. So that brings us to the end of our introductory material. I am going to cover our week 1 overview in a separate, very short video. And so that brings us to the end of this welcome video. Please know that I am so truly honored to walk alongside you in this educational journey. I'm so excited to learn more about you, your leadership style, what character education in schools means for you. And please know that I am here for you. I'm cheering for you. I am rooting you on. Do not hesitate to reach out to me at my email address with questions or concerns. I'm so looking forward to getting to know you this week as we get to know one another specifically through our discussion posts and our first assignment. More to come on that in the week 1 video. Have a wonderful week.